Hello guys, I'm here with Cyril. Cyril is, I would say, probably the most Instagram famous
I know.
plant friend I have. His account on Instagram has, 130,000 organic followers now, which is just, it just blows my mind how much that really is. So Cyril, why don't you tell us like how your account got started?
Well, it was a personal account with a little over 3,000 followers, which I started in 2013 during the day and age of Instagram. Back in 2018, when I moved here, I thought of just, since it's a new start, I wanted to just post my plans. It's a new hobby that I now have the opportunity to do. When I was living in a different country, I was renting out and I didn't think that it would be my forever home. So I did have plans here and there, but when I moved here, I was like, okay, this is my opportunity to actually start my own collection. And that's when I just started posting plants. And my real friends didn't understand that. But that's where I discovered the plant community. People also appreciated the monsteras, the philodendrons, the anthuriums, and that's when I really found the community that I belong in right now.
When you look back at your first couple posts, are they a lot different from what you're posting now?
Well, the rarity of the plant, yes. But it's always been the same. It's about a group of plants that I create into vignettes or a moment but the quality of the photo improved, my aesthetics improved. Before, it was really just a point and shoot thing. It is still a point and shoot thing right now, but I take more time into editing the lighting, getting rid of the ugly shadows, or making sure that the leaves are facing nicely. But yeah, it's practically the same but also a little bit improved.
For people who are thinking about getting into social media, right, or like building their social media, what are the top tips that you have?
Well, the tips that worked for me, it might be different for others, is that when I appreciated my aesthetics, that's when I really embraced that, oh, I actually like the rustic look, or doing vignettes or moments with my plants. I'm sorry, I find it funny because my cat is...
His cat is behind the camera. Hopefully, I'll see if that works. But
yeah. And then what else? Up until now, people are surprised that I still engage with them. They always, whenever I respond to a comment or I respond with a DM when they ask me about something, they're like, "Oh my God, thank you for replying. I didn't really think you'd reply because people with your following." Okay, let me get. My God. Chubby kitty.
Oh, let me see. Hopefully the settings are still okay. Oh yeah, they're fine. They're fine.
Okay. So yeah, people would be surprised that I still respond, or basically that I still respond, and I'm like, yes, because I told myself that when I first started engaging with the plant community, people were always nice to respond back with questions, or when I posted a genuine question as a caption, like, is this a neon pothos, or is this a neon philodendron, or a neon cordatum? I didn't know the difference back then. People would be so nice to tell me what is the right information, wouldn't be rude. So I promised myself, like, regardless of how many followers I'll have, whenever I have time, now it takes hours because sometimes it's just so overwhelming, I would still try to respond as nice as I can, as fast as I can to these inquiries. Engaging genuinely with people, developing real friendships is really important, because your photo or your video or your reels could go trending, but if you notice, like, not a lot of those are valid comments or questions, and not a lot of those are real communication that you have with your commenter or your follower.
Like spam? Is that you have like spam comments?
No, right now, no. There was a time where as a lot of people were like, hey, we want you to collaborate with our brand, this brand, and it's always like a spam comment from certain companies. But what I mean now is, when people comment post and they genuinely ask you a question, you could respond to it. I mean, because others just do it for engagement. I would say that those are like fake engagements. Like, I love this photo, heart. You know. Things
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
not like a
Like
not
like like
thoughtful.
not, yeah, like not a
real-
thoughtful real question or engagement. And I mean, I try to like bounce that back when they engage with my post. I try to engage back because I would also find something beautiful in their content, or I would find a genuine question that their content would, you know, spark in my interest. Another tip would be to just enjoy what you put out there. Do the content that really brings you joy, as cliche or pageanty that may sound. You will not be exhausted when you love doing what you, I mean, when you love posting what you do, or when you love doing, when you love what you post, you
Yeah,
know, it will come natural. It wouldn't be work. It wouldn't be tiring, like, oh my god, I have to put out this content. But if you genuinely like creating moments, if you know, just want to show people how you are so proud of this plant or that progress that they made, then it will shine through and people will see that.
Interacting with you and looking at your posts, I think there's a sense of joy that you really put out there. It seems like you really enjoy what you're posting, what you're doing, what you're sharing. But like you said, you know, like it does take hours, right? Like interacting, I mean, you get several thousand likes, comments on your posts, and you post a lot,
Yeah.
right? So how much time does it take out of your day?
Well, it is also like a full-time job other than my real day job. When during my breaks or during my after office hours, I take time to respond to people because they take time to reach out to me as well. So I feel like it's my responsibility to just bounce back the effort that they give me and the appreciation that they say, like, hey, thank you for posting. I mean, it's natural for me to just take moments when a plant is flowering or like the sunlight hits them right, and I always carry my phone around and I love taking pictures. And you know, when I have an idea, like, oh my god, they'd probably look if it's nice if it's just like all heart veiny leaves, and I could create this moment. So I'll group them together, snap a picture, and that's why I have a lot of content that I could post. And it's not really a lot of effort to like post every day, although now I'm trying to like hold back a little bit because I'm in the process of like brainstorming what's something new that I could put out there. I mean, people enjoyed that type of content for 3 years now, but I also want to reinvent myself. It's beautiful, yes, but it can get tiring at times. That's why it's always a constant challenge to challenge myself. Like what's something new that I could always introduce or, you know, create for the plant community.
How many hours roughly, if we're talking about just the Instagram communication, commenting, interaction, roughly how many hours a day?
I have this alarm. If you've spent a certain amount on Instagram, it would prompt me, and most of the time it would say like, you've already spent 3 hours on Instagram today.
And that's not
And
that's
that's-
not you taking pictures. That's not you posting. That's like just a comment.
Just me being on the app. But that's not always about plans. Sometimes it's me talking to friends,
Right,
because the friendships that you develop through the years, most of us connected through Instagram, so we wouldn't really text or Facebook Messenger or whatever. It's just through Instagram DMs most of the time.
Got it.
And like throughout the day, like, hey, how are you? And then it's always on Instagram. So it's not all 3 hours every day, but just on Instagram and just on plants.
If we're talking about just content creation, like how many hours a day roughly are you like thinking about Instagram, about your content, or making your content, or editing the content? What is that, like an hour, 2 hours?
Well, it depends. Like on the weekends, I spend more time thinking about content. Like all throughout the week, I would be thinking like, oh, maybe for Saturday, I could take a picture of my cacti shelfie, and on Saturday, that's when I would do it. But during the weekends, I'd think about it. Photo editing is probably maximum of 10 to 15 minutes. I use it's so easy, but more on like setting up your grow light, turning it on to make those ugly beige walls
Right.
whiter, cleaner, crisper. Yeah, I would say like a good hour or two in a day, which involves like replying to comments, just the comments, or
Right.
responding to DMs. It depends if it's a good engagement
Right,
day, you'd
right.
get more questions, or if you post a DIY or a tutorial, the questions and the comments would flood. And sometimes it's overwhelming. I try to respond within the first 24 hours, but after that, if someone still responds to a content like 2 weeks back, because after you reach a certain amount on Instagram, you don't get notified with every single like or every
Oh.
single comment anymore. So they compress all the likes, so the likes would just pass. The comments would be there every now and then, the following, but it gets compressed and it just moves really fast.
You just miss
Yeah.
it, yeah. I do want viewers to like know that like the hours that you're quoting, the time, the effort that you're putting in, I would consider you at this point like an Instagram professional, where like you've probably like optimized the way you've done things, right? When you're saying that you edit your photos within 10 minutes or something, like your process is like optimized, right?
Yeah.
And then like when you're taking pictures or when you're doing moments or something, you know what to do, like grow light, you know, like this plant, that aesthetic, and you sort of have this system in place, and yet even then you're taking like hours to do this. I feel like a person like me trying to do probably the same thing you're doing in a day would take me my entire day.
Yeah, I would say like it's muscle memory now. Like, okay, I need to take a picture. I'm sure I'll take out my ring light. I know which plants to pull out already. After taking a few pictures, it'll just be on my phone. I can sit, edit for 10, 15 minutes and post, think of a caption, what sparks to me at that moment. So, yeah.
Do you take time off, you know, just like a week or two off to just, all right, I'm not going to do Instagram. I'm just going to decompress or get away from that? Do you take vacations?
Well, I've tried that several times, but I guess the most that I did was like 4 days of not posting. But the thing is, it's not a complete detox because I really still check my DMs because of my friends. You know, they would send me memes or real videos. So it's not a real detox. So the short answer would be never.
No, yeah. Okay. I mean, Instagram has been integrated into your
Yeah, to
life.
be fair, I could open Instagram every day but not open Facebook at all.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it depends on what's your main form of communication. Other than texting, my friends and I really use Instagram or just the Facebook Messenger. We don't open a lot of Facebook app itself anymore. I mean, it gets auto shared when I share something on Instagram, but that's about it.
You know, like as I'm talking to you, like I the sense of like how integrated Instagram is as part of your social network, your hobby, your passion, the energy that you want to share and project into the world. I can see and understand now why you have 130 plus thousand followers and I have like 10. You know, like I totally get it because for me, like Instagram is not a big that's just not on my mind. And I feel that there's also a lot of Instagram accounts out there that are their function is to promote a business or a financial incentive, which is not really what, you know, now you have some sponsorships, but that's really not, it doesn't seem like that's really what you have ever been about.
That wasn't the goal, and I guess people see through that I'm not there to just sell things. I mean, good if they would pay me, I appreciate that because it takes a lot of time. You probably heard how many processes we go through because of the content and everything, but that's what also people say to me, that they see what I really genuinely love and put out and it translates, and I'm happy that it does translate because it is really part of my life, of my everyday life. So hello Instagram. No, but yes, I guess it's just natural that I'm deeply intertwined into that social media platform because it is part of my life. But beyond the aesthetics, I'm glad that, you know, the effort and the passion that I have for this hobby, if you can still call it a hobby, is shining through, because that's really important for me.
right.
And there's nothing wrong with thinking about monetization or having a career or business through Instagram, but that's just not my thing. And if it comes as an extra, then I'm very, very grateful
Right,
for that.
right, you're right.